Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all new videos. Hey guys, so welcome to my channel. Today I'll be doing a little bit of a deeper conversation, I would say, talking a little bit more about finances and what to do when you're in a financial crisis and the options that are available. So let's just stay tuned and I'll keep you guys informed with good information. I decided to make this video to share some information with you on the things that I learned while I was getting out of financial debt and starting over. So working for a financial company, as well as, going through a financial hardship, I had to really learn a lot of information on how to get out of debt, how to clear my debt, and what route was best for me to take in order to clear my debt and start over and just have a better understanding on how to keep my debt clear as well. So some of the things that I wanted to go over are the two options that were available. The first one was, of course, bankruptcy, and then there was another one that's called debt consolidation. So I came together with 3 pros and 3 cons for bankruptcy and debt consolidation, and I'm going to go over it with you guys. So I read it all out, so bear with me while I'm reading it to you. That way you can get the most correct information. All right. Debt consolidating. There are many different debt consolidation companies out there. I work for one, and I find that debt consolidating is really good if you don't want to completely wipe out your debt, or you're the type that want to at least pay something on it to have it reflect on your credit. Debt consolidation is actually a really good route to go. Now I'm going to start with the 3 pros and let's get to it. So background on the consolidation company, what they do is they contact your creditors to get a reduction in what you owe. So typically consolidation companies can reduce what you owe between 40 to 50%. Sometimes it can be lower than that depending on the creditor as well as the consolidation company you are using. An example, like I said, would be $20,000 is what you owe, and the company can reduce it down to 10 or sometimes 9, and then you have to take in effect of the company's settlement fee that they will charge to settle your debt, and that typically ranges in a percent range that you should definitely discuss when you contact the consolidation company and review your account with them. So if you didn't gather, number 1 pro was the fact that they reduce what you owe. Okay. Now, number 2, which is on my notes here, you guys. So you only can make 1 monthly deposit with them. So that's the benefit. So say for instance, if you owe a lot of creditors, you're most likely paying like 6 different creditors a month. When you enroll into a consolidation program, you're only going to have 1 monthly payment that's going to be able to cover all the creditors that you have enrolled into the program. So that'll be good, especially if you're trying to save more money, build money up, and just reduce the stress of paying 6 different people every month. Now, another pro, which is the last one I put on there, is that this program is about 2 to 4 years before you're completely debt free. Now, it can sound like a long time, but if you look at it, you're typically going to be paying your creditors longer, between 2 to 6 years, sometimes 8, depending on the interest that's accumulated throughout the time of you making your payments. So that's why I would recommend just looking into the consolidation company a little bit further if this is something that you want to reduce your amount and still make payments to your creditor on. That way your credit can get clear and you're debt free faster. All right. Now, there are definitely some cons to being a part of a consolidation program that I want to review with you. It's just going to be 3. There are plenty of more, but these are the 3 main ones that I think are important to really consider before getting into this program. Okay. Number 1, the main thing, your credit will show delinquent, which means you're basically going to be showing that you're not making payments to your creditor. And the reason why you have to be in a delinquent status with the accounts that you enroll into the program is because the only way the creditor is going to reduce what you owe and negotiate with the actual consolidation company is if you're not paying them. So if you're not paying the creditor, what typically happens is they're going to report to the credit bureau that you're not making your payments, which will bring your credit score down. But once we do, well, not we, I'm thinking about work, you guys. Once the consolidation company actually gets you into that settlement and it pays off, the credit score will reflect that that's a paid off account. So that's why the program takes 2 to 4 years, really, because of that lengthy time of going into a delinquent status, as well as getting a settlement and then making the payments and paying them off. And depending on the term that the creditor is willing to go, you can have a payment structure settlement up from 6 months to 72. Honestly, I've seen that. So just taking consideration of that as well when you're looking at your settlements that the creditor and the consolidation company bring to you. So when you're asking about how long you need to be in delinquent status, typically in order for the creditor to negotiate with the consolidation company, you have to be delinquent between 90 to 180 days. That way the creditor now is kind of sweating and they really want their money, so they're willing to negotiate and reduce what you owe. And as I stated, the second con is similar to the first con. Your credit is going to drop. But I really want to reiterate that because a lot of people don't understand what happens when your credit drops. That means you won't get approved for a lot of things. Some people can't even get approved for apartments if they credit really plummet that low. And that's why you have to really consider if this program is for you, because if you're trying to get a vehicle or get a new place within a year or 2 years, you wouldn't want to do this program because it's not going to reflect good on your credit score. It's going to show you owe creditors. It's going to show you're not making payments. So they're not going to approve you for a lot of things. So consider that when you're coming into the program of what the con really is and what it really can do when you're looking toward like the future. Last con, guys, number 3. I know these cons are not the greatest, and it honestly can make you reconsider a lot when it comes to doing this. And this last con is going to actually tweak your nerve a little bit too. So this one actually says that there's no guaranteed reduction. So even if you get a part of a consolidation program and say you're in a consolidation program for 6 months and they've been reaching out to this creditor won't budge, they want the full amount and they're not going to reduce it, then it kind of makes it a waste because some accounts can't get settled, and then now you're going to end up owing the original balance plus the interest that occurred during this 6 month or whatever time frame that you waited for the consolidation company to negotiate. So that is a downside, and there is one more downside that kind of coincides with the fact that the consolidation company doesn't guarantee a reduction. Extended con to the last one that I stated about not having a guaranteed reduction amount within the company. Also, people don't know this, but the creditor has the right to report a credit give back from the IRS. Basically, they can report through the IRS to receive a credit from you for what you saved in the consolidation program. So basically, if you got a part of that program, and like I said, they reduced you down to $10,000 if you started at 20, and that's what you saved was $10,000. If they report that to the IRS will grant them to get their money back, get the credit. Now, there are some steps that I was aware of that you can take, through a tax advisor, but I do not know those steps. So if that is something that you are considering and you want a little bit more information around the tax part and the IRS and how the creditor can request their funds back that you saved, definitely hit up a tax advisor because they will know more of the steps and how to prevent it or what to do if it happens. So check them out. Let's move on to bankruptcy. So this is actually more lengthy than I thought it would be, because when I notated, you think 3 things, it's not that much, but it is. So we're gonna get right back to it, you guys. When it comes to bankruptcy, there's different type of bankruptcies. You got chapter 7, chapter 11, chapter 13. Those are the ones I know off the top of my head. So you would have to figure out what category you actually fit into when it comes into the bankruptcy. Like, for example, if you have more property or you have a business, you'll be more qualified for maybe the 13 or the 11. I was told when it comes to the 7, that's more of like an individual person, not much assets, just debt, credit card debt, car debts, things like that. That's more of where chapter 7 comes in, okay? When it comes to bankruptcy, basically all your debt is going to be wiped out. So that is a major pro. So that is my first pro. I think that's important to know. One thing I will say is that student loans are not a part of that. So you would still owe that, of course. A lot of people most likely know that, but I just want to reiterate that just so people understand, like, you will still owe your student loans, okay? Moving on to the second one. There are no judgments and garnishments that happen during bankruptcy. So I didn't touch on this a lot when it came to the consolidation company, but let me touch on it really quickly. You can have judgments and garnishments when you're a part of the consolidation company. They can sue you, and what typically will happen is the consolidation company is going to try to get that account settled before you get sued or garnished, but sometimes that don't happen. So you have to take that also risk of understanding that you can get garnished. You know, if you're working at a job and you paycheck to paycheck and you get a part of this consolidation company and your checks get garnished, hey, you a step back. You know, you're not really a step forward. So consider that. I know I got way off topic when it came to the consolidation, but yes, bankruptcy, you do not receive any garnishments or judgments. Once they file your bankruptcy, the creditors aren't allowed to put any garnishments or any holds on your accounts. They're not allowed to do anything in that reference, okay? Another pro I said is you can add any amount of debt. So there's no limit, no cap to it. There's no different type of debt that you can't add. Like, for instance, with consolidation companies, there are some debts you can't add. There are some loans that you get that you aren't able to add. There are some electricity bills you can't add and things of that nature. You can't add apartments. So when you go through a bankruptcy, you can add those kind of things. So you got to consider that when you are owing, payday loans, apartments. You can't put those on, electricity bills. You can't put those on consolidation, but you can put that on bankruptcy. Now, the cons, of course, are similar to the consolidation company, just in a different reference. The bankruptcy will be on your name for 10 years. It does have a bad reflection when you're trying to apply to certain, I would say homes maybe, just because of the fact that it's going to show that you literally decided to take the route of not paying your people back. So now you look a little iffy, you look, a little bit untrustworthy when it comes to, are they going to receive a payment? So you have to consider that, but you also have that same reflection in the consolidation company. It's just that with the consolidation, it shows that you wasn't making payments and then you did. As for the bankruptcy, it's going to reflect that you are not making none and you never will. Bankruptcy can be pricey depending on where you live. I know here in Arizona, it runs between $1,500 and up, depending on the lawyer you're with. Personal experience, mine was $2,000, so that is the route I chose, by the way. But yeah, it can vary depending on which one you choose. Or not which one you choose, who you choose. Oh no, and which one you choose if you choose which chapter. So the last con, you guys, for bankruptcy will be giving up assets. For instance, if you are putting your vehicle on there, you have to give it up. You have to surrender. If you're putting home, or if a home is a part of the asset that's a requirement to file, you have to give that up. It really depends on what bankruptcy chapter you're under and what is it that you're basically filing. Is it business bankruptcy? It's a lot of different variety, am I saying it right? It's a lot of different ways of bankruptcy that I am unfamiliar with. I am only familiar with what I did, which is chapter 7, and that was individual, and basically I didn't really have a lot of assets to really surrender, so I didn't have that option. Well, I didn't need that option either, so that's good. And so anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the bankruptcy. Okay guys, so that's basically done. We're complete here. I wanted to just give you guys just some helpful information that I learned along the way with getting out of my financial crisis and just starting over and getting on a new path of just financial awareness and financial stability. And I do think it's very important, especially if you're heading into your 30s like I am, even starting early. I wish I would have knew information that I know now that I could have knew back then, my upbringing was just a little bit different, so I'm just happy that now I'm getting more knowledge and clarity and just feeling all around good about handling business, taking care of the important things that's in life. A lot of people don't like to talk about things like this. A lot of people are scared to, put their business out there, and this is a lot for me to put out there about my financial crisis, but I also wanted to share this information because when I went through this financial crisis, I had no one to help me with it. I literally figured all this stuff out on my own. I literally sat down and, compared, the pro and the con, like how I'm giving you guys, and putting it toward my situation and what's best for me. And that's why I think that giving this information to people, they can now, or you guys, whoever's viewing this, can now reflect it on yourself and figure out what is the best step for you financially. Because if you're not thinking about finances and you're not thinking about your money, you're not thinking about the future. And that's just how I look at it. But we're going to get past that. Let me know if you guys like this kind of video, if you like content like this, information like this, if you like what I shared. If you have any more information on stuff like this, you can definitely leave it in the notes or message me, because I love to gain new information. And it's just my thing, I love to get information that's going to better me, that's going to stimulate me. And if there's more information that can also increase my finances and help me save better, put that in the comments, because like I said, I'm all about research, and like I said, it's all me learning this by myself. So thanks, guys. Also, I didn't put it in there, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, guys, so you can see all my new posts. I typically post on Wednesdays, but lately I have been posting sporadically because I just have so much to say, so much to show you guys. So just stay tuned and hit the notification bell. That way you will know what new videos are coming and when, the date and the time. Because like I said, it's sporadic.